Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another part of my Renovating EA series, and this time I am renovating this build, which is one of the vacation homes that you can find in the world of Silva Dorada, and that is the world that came with the Jungle Adventure game pack. And I had so much fun renovating this build. It has been a while now because I was actually planning on sharing this build before I even went to EA Play. I renovated this, I edited all the footage, and I just had to do the voiceover. And ever since I've been back, I've been in total like island living mode, and all I want to do is build in Sulani and make videos about Sulani. So I was like, okay, I definitely need to go and do this voiceover. So if I do forget anything about this build, I do apologize. But yeah, it's been a really long time since I've actually renovated this, but I'm so happy with the way it turned out, because if you guys did see, there was a build that I did, it's been a while. It was called the Tropical Jungle Huts, something like that. It was on the same lot anyways, and I built 3 different huts, and I built them over this natural kind of lake or pond, something like that. And I was talking about in that voiceover how I was kind of considering maybe including that build in my save file, but I asked your guys' opinion. So I got a lot of different responses on that, so I really appreciate it. And some of you guys said, yes, include it in your save. I love the build. So it will be on my gallery when my save is complete, and you can download it, and it fits on this lot, and I think it looks really pretty here. But a lot of you guys actually pointed out that you didn't think it really suited the overall style and theme of this world, and it didn't really match with the other builds that I've done here too. And I completely agree. And something I really want to come out of my save file is I want something that's really cohesive, and the worlds make sense and the builds make sense, you know, when they're next to each other. So I definitely agree. So I decided just to go ahead and renovate this one. But actually, this build I don't think really suits Silva Dorada that nicely either, because I feel like the roof line looks really weird. So that's something I really wanted to change. But I actually really enjoyed renovating this one and seeing how it changed and how it all came together, because sometimes I kind of worry about changing a build too much when I renovate it, because I don't want it to look like I just built something completely different. I want it to still look like the original build in some way, but this one I did change quite a bit. So hopefully you guys don't mind, but I really do like it. And since I liked that other build so much with the 3 huts, I decided to take inspiration from that one and build a pond on this one too. So that's what I'm building now, and there's a dock that goes out onto it, and I just cover it with landscaping like crazy. I do a lot of landscaping, but that was something that I really liked about that build, was how nestled into the jungle it looked. And so that's how I wanted this one to be. I just wanted it to be hidden away, and so when you're on vacation here, you feel like you're really just out in the middle of the jungle, in the middle of nowhere, and you're just kind of secluded from any sort of civilization. And I love that idea so much. And I think this build is supposed to be originally a honeymoon type spot, because it has the romantic aura lot trait, I think that's what it's called. But for some reason it had 2 bedrooms originally, and so I just wanted it to have 1 bedroom and really just be for a couple that comes here, whether it's for a honeymoon or just a vacation alone. I wanted it to be more of that type of spot. So the 2nd bedroom area I decided to turn into an office, which may not be that realistic for a vacation home to have an office. There's no computer in there, but I decided to put the archaeology table in there, and I think a bookcase and a seating area. It's not very big, so I didn't really have like a whole lot of room to fit a bunch of activities, but I wanted something like that in there. So I thought that was a better idea. And then the whole upstairs is like the honeymoon suite. There's the bedroom, there's a 2nd living area up there, there's a huge bathroom that I really like. And I don't think I actually included a TV anywhere in this build, but there's different activities. I think there's the Don't Wake the Llama table, and I want to say maybe a chess table. I can't exactly remember, because yeah, like I said, it has been a while. But here you can see I am starting to do some of the landscaping. I just love landscaping here so much, and I love landscaping in the new world too. Like all of these tropical worlds that we have now, I am in love with, and I think they're so much fun because you can really go a little bit crazy. And I probably went a little bit too crazy here. As you can see, it's completely covered, but what I was trying to do was really cover up the edges of this pool, because we don't have a tool to actually make natural ponds in game. You pretty much have to use either the fountain tool or the swimming pool tool and make your own and try to make it look natural. And so I just covered up the edges and I recolored the floor of the pool and the sides of the pool to be black, and I feel like that kind of makes it look a little bit darker and murkier, kind of like more natural water. Even if you don't recolor it, it looks a little bit more natural, but I did recolor the water to be this one that came with Jungle Adventures. So really like the way that looks, and yeah, just go completely crazy. But here you will see me starting to mess with the roof line and change it up. I do change the front door area. I loved that it had a red door, so I definitely wanted to keep that, but I end up using that other door that we got with the Jungle Adventure pack. It's not necessarily a single tile one, it's a 2 tile that fits like halfway through the grid, I think. You'll see me place it here in a moment, but it just fit better than the door that was there originally. So this is the one that I end up using. I try a few other ones, but yeah, this is the one that I use, and I really do like it. And I love these windows that we have in game that are like these cutout pieces that I have next to the door too. I thought those were really pretty. But here you can see me messing with the roof a little bit more, and I think this just looks so much better than the asymmetrical roofing that they had. I mean, it looked okay, but I just don't think it really suited the style, at least the way I wanted it to look. So I felt like this looks so much better. And something you will notice, I put a fireplace outside. I think I also have 2 on the interior, but I really liked the outside one because I think the other 2 builds that I've done here both have fireplaces outside. So I felt like it made it more cohesive and brought them both together a little bit more. I still have the other build to do in this area. That's the other vacation home, and then that's the last vacation home that I have to do in this world. If you guys have any suggestions or ideas of what I should do on that lot, let me know, because I think what it is right now is it's supposed to be for like a group of adults or young adults or elders or something that have came here to do archaeology and explore the temples, rather than somebody coming here purely for vacation. So do you guys think I should continue with that idea, or maybe make it for like friends to stay? Because I kind of feel like the second one that I built, it has lots of activities, and I think it would be really nice for like a bunch of young adults to come stay together. So I don't know, let me know if you guys have any ideas on that. And then the other 2 builds in this world, well, there is 3 more. I have already done the park area, and that one I just did off camera, but I will show you guys when I do my overviews what that looks like. It's very similar to how it was originally. I just re-landscaped it and added a few extra decorations, but I think it looks really nice. And then yeah, it's a bar now, but I think I'm going to turn it into a restaurant, but it'll still be kind of like a bar. But I feel like having a restaurant in this world is like a must, because you know, it's based kind of on South America, and Mexico is, well, it's in Central America, but either way, Mexican food is my favorite type of food, and I couldn't imagine coming to somewhere that's like this and not eat. So I need a restaurant, and I'll have a bar too. And then the other lot is a museum right now, but I think I'm going to turn that into some sort of a spa. I think I've mentioned that before, and some of you guys have thought that's a good idea. So if you guys do have any other suggestions or ideas on that, definitely let me know, because I'm still open for ideas. I haven't completely set my mind on what I want to do, but definitely the bar will be a restaurant, and I have lots of ideas for it. So I just definitely need to sit down and see what I can come up with. But here you will see this roof was giving me such a hard time. You will see me mess with it for so long. Just throughout the build, randomly it kept cutting in, and then it would also, like, even though it wasn't cutting in, you'd be able to see like a slight line of the roof trim. I have no idea why. It was driving me absolutely crazy. I don't think I've really had that problem any other time, so I think it was just a weird glitch that was happening this particular day. So hopefully it's not anything that I will see any other time, because it was really, really frustrating while I was trying to build up there, because it looked like something was just laying on the floor. But either way, I think it looks nice in the end, and it didn't really bother me too much. And then here I do a little bit of landscaping here in the back. The back of the build, there really wasn't much I could probably do, but since I wanted it to look like it was really nestled into the jungle, I decided to put a few plants just around here, the pathway. That way, if you're taking screenshots, it really looks like it's like solid jungle all the way behind the build, and there's just trails around. And I love that idea so much. And I love these orange trees that we have, by the way. I think up until the last build that I did on this lot, I had never used those trees in the orange color. Maybe I had once or twice or something, but here I loved using them. And then in the last build too, I thought they looked so pretty. So I feel like they bring so much color to the landscaping, and then those orange flowers that I used from base game. So I thought that just came together pretty nicely, but I think this is basically it for all of the landscaping. I just kind of mess with a few things to make sure that's not clipping through the fence. And then I do add a couple of couches by the fireplace with some plants and a coffee table. I do an outdoor dining area so you can sit outside and eat, because I definitely thought that would be really nice. I think I may include a barbecue. I can't exactly remember if I do or not, but either way, I love this area. I could just imagine sitting out here and listening to the birds chirp and just really enjoying all the tropical smells and stuff. Totally obsessed, so I think that would be a really nice spot to hang out. Then I put a few pots and decorations around here by the front door. I messed with the colors in this build quite a bit because I was wanting to do a different color scheme than I'd done in like previous builds in this world, so I'm not exactly sure how different it is. I think there's more blues than I've done before, but then again, I feel like I've done quite a bit of blues in my other one too, but I was trying to add some pops of red, so I do that a little bit, but not as much as I had originally planned. I try using these couches too. I don't end up keeping them though. I do switch them out later. I was so indecisive, but yeah, in the end, I do really like it. And then here I was trying to mess around with that foosball table. I do end up getting rid of it because it just definitely does not fit there, but I decided to leave it because I was like, well, maybe I'll get it to work and maybe try to use some move objects and pull it slightly, you know, around the grid, and Sims will be able to get around it. But I do end up placing, I think, a yoga mat there instead because I thought that would be nice to do some yoga while you're on vacation. Anytime I put any like pool areas or body of water, I always imagine doing yoga by them, at least in The Sims anyways, and I always think it's so nice. But now we actually have beach towels. So actually, I should probably talk about this because I've gotten a few questions since we've got the Island Living expansion pack, and I've got questions asking if I'm going to go back and update older builds for my save file where I've made like lounge chairs or like beach towels or things like that. So I'm definitely going to go back and replace items that I've pretended to be items that we actually have now. So I'll go back and update all of those before I release my save file. And I'm going to be using new items from that pack too in my new build. I'm just not going to be worrying about finishing that world super quickly. I'm going to take my time because I've done a bunch of builds there. I have a couple that I'm thinking about including in my save file, but I haven't quite worked out how I want that world to look or what community lots and all those types of things that I want to include in that world. So I don't want to rush it. And so I'm just going to continue working on the rest of my worlds, release the first version of my save file, and then I will update it once other worlds get complete. But I want to have like a pretty good majority of the worlds completed before I release my first version. But I will still be using new items from that new pack and updating things like lounge chairs and beach towels and those types of things. So I think that'll work out pretty nicely. But here I am working on the interior, adding some random decorations. I kind of skip around to the balconies and then go to the interior when I find certain like objects that I want to place in certain areas of the build. But I love the color scheme. There's not really like, I guess, a definitive color scheme. I used a lot of mixtures of colors, but I love this interior so much. I love decorating in this world in general, and just this whole style I think is a lot of fun to just decorate in because there's a lot more colors than I would probably use in like a Willow Creek family home, or even like most worlds. I feel like I probably wouldn't use this much color, so I really enjoy decorating here, and I think that's why I've been having so much fun in Sulani too, because I feel like you can just go crazy with color when it's tropical. Maybe that's just me, but that's how I feel. And I do add a few decorations around, but since this is a vacation home, I tried to not add a whole lot of clutter, but I wanted it to be fully decorated because I wanted this to feel like it was kind of a fancier place to stay, and so they have a lot more, I guess, just decorations to make it feel really fancy. And that plate, I'm pretty sure that's the gold plate that costs like 10,000 simoleons if you sell it. I'm not exactly sure how you find it. Actually, in my Not So Berry challenge, my sim found it randomly and then it was in his inventory and I was like, how did he get this? But they went on a honeymoon here and I just wasn't paying attention. So maybe, actually, it might have been when he was in one of the rabbit holes. If I think about it, I think that's how he got it. But either way, if you have like a kleptomaniac sim that comes and stays here, they could steal that plate and it's worth a whole lot of simoleons. So that's definitely a possibility if you have one of those sims or you like that type of gameplay. And then here in the dining room, I loved using these blue chairs. I thought this like pop of color was so pretty and so fun in here. And I do have a fireplace in here too. I also have one upstairs. Not sure how often you will probably use them, but we got this fireplace with this pack and it's so pretty and I love using it in these builds. I really like that fireplace a lot, so I definitely thought it looked nice. And this is just kind of like a seating area. It's supposed to be like the formal living room. Oh, I did include a TV. Never mind, I totally said earlier, at least I think I did, that I said there was no TV. I did put one upstairs in like right next to the bedroom. So we'll see that later because that is like a second living room area. But this was originally where the second bedroom was. And so I just turned it into an office area. Here I'm trying to use the foosball table again. It's just way too big. I probably could have made it work, but it just felt way too crowded in there. So I just felt like having a place to read and the archaeology table might be a little bit more useful. And I love these chairs, by the way. I do use them quite a bit, even when I'm not using other furniture from Jungle Adventure. But something that I love about them, or the reason I think I like them so much, is that single pillow that's on them and just leaning against the back of the chair. I wish we had more chairs that just had a single throw pillow or like a blanket. We have a couple in game, so I probably shouldn't complain too much, but I just love that extra detail so much, and I probably talked about that way too much. But something I would love to see in the game is just a pillow accessory that we could place ourselves that had just a few swatches. It doesn't have to be a lot, just a few maybe plain swatches and like a couple patterns. I think that would be so great. But I'm not sure if it'll ever happen. But here I wanted to place a massage table, and so what I ended up doing is actually putting them over here on this dock area, and I thought that was so romantic. So you could have a couples massage overlooking the water, and I thought that would be just a really nice thing for a honeymoon venue to have. And this is kind of similar to the build that I did for, I think it was my 20K special. I built my vacation dream home here in Selva Dorada, and I had some massage tables overlooking the pool area, and I absolutely loved that so much. So I was kind of thinking about that build while I was doing it, and I did playtest that area, by the way, and I'm so happy that I did, because I think it was one of the masseuses couldn't actually get to the table, so it was causing some problems, but everything worked in the end. I did make the changes. So when you download this from the gallery, you should be able to hire a masseuse and get a massage while you're here on vacation. And then here I'm adding a bathroom. So I realized that I deleted the original bathroom, and so I needed a spot to put one. And so I just kind of built one here at the back of the build. It doesn't look perfect because I didn't originally plan to have one here, but I think it works, and I definitely wanted to have one down on the lower level anyways. So yeah, really happy with the way it turned out. It's just a sink and a toilet, purely functional. I mean, I think it looks nice. I love the tile and the way it looks and everything, but it's definitely just because I needed a bathroom. And then I place a rug here, and then I get the yoga mat here in just a moment, I believe, or maybe I place it later. No, place it right now. And then I think this is it for the entire lower part of the bed. And then up here in the bedroom, the roof was still poking through, and in the end I think it still pokes through in the screenshots because I just really couldn't do anything about it. It's so frustrating. But over here is a dresser, and I put a few items on top of it, but again, thinking that it's more of a vacation home, so I imagined that these bottles in here were like complimentary for your stay here. But then that bag that I put next to it, I did imagine that who's ever staying here brought that with them, so it has some extra clothes or some towels for going to the water, those types of things. And then I put a side table over there with a few decorations. There is a closet because I had space for it, and I figured why not, because I had the space. It worked out pretty nicely. And then this is the second living room, and originally I wasn't planning on having a TV in this build, but I did end up putting one in here. So if you don't like having TV while your Sims are on vacation, you could definitely delete it and just have another living room, or put that foosball table that I was trying to use that whole time. That would be a really nice spot to put it. You could just get rid of the couches and you'd have plenty of room to fit that in there, or other activities if your Sims like to maybe work out when they're on vacation. You could have a treadmill in there or something. You could do a little gym. Totally up to you. But over here is the bathroom. So the bathroom was really big, and I decided to split it into basically two rooms. So this first room has the sinks and the toilet, and then the second room has a jacuzzi tub, and I think I get a stand-up shower in here if I remember correctly. But I love putting tubs over by windows because I think it sounds so relaxing to like look through a window, especially when you're somewhere with lots of trees or, you know, it's just really surrounded by nature, and so you don't really feel like you're exposed to the entire world, even though it's The Sims, so you don't really have to worry about that. But I still think about it a little bit when I'm building, and I just love the idea of taking a bath and like looking out into the jungle, and it just seems so relaxing. But here I decided to use the regular countertops instead of using that same sink that I used in the lower bathroom. But there's 2 sinks here, and this decoration that we got with Spa Day, I thought looked perfect for a vacation spot because it looks like a complimentary display with some, you know, soaps or lotions and shampoos, and the flower on it is super cute too. But in here, yeah, I just have the jacuzzi tub, and then I have, I think, some plants, and I can't exactly remember. Very simple, but I really do like it. I think I actually put a stool with some decorations on top of this. I love using this stool as a table rather than a seat. And I think it works so nicely, especially with the red shelf. It's really handy for placing items on top of it since there's, you know, no snapping points on it. But I am just making the final few touches and changes to the build, and then we are already onto the screenshot. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. And like I said, if you guys have any ideas for what I should do with the other builds in this world, definitely let me know. But hopefully you guys do enjoy the screenshots, and thank you guys so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions that you have, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!
You could see yourself just sitting there on my chair. I'm staring at you, you don't even notice. Should've told you straight away, you don't have to be afraid anymore. I know you haven't noticed. I could show you more, 'cause baby you deserve some more. But still you're here, and that's what I adore. Should've told you straight away everything I have to say, but I'm afraid, and I know you haven't noticed. You know that I won't let you go. Put your arms around me and I'll let you know how it feels when time goes slow. And I won't let it rush when I see you dance, and the moment comes when I fall and time goes slow. I fall into you. I fall into you. I fall into you. Hey, I wish you could see yourself just sitting there